Hola y bienvenidos. Soy yo, el Señor Morris. Today, you'll be taking the evaluation for Unit 9. If you have not yet studied this material, this will be a pre-test for you. We want to know how you do at guessing, so we ask you to do the best that you can. Now, if you've already finished studying this material, you'll be taking this as a post-test. Okay? We give you this test at the end of the unit to see how well you remember the things that you studied. Either way, just try to relax and trust in your abilities, and I'm sure you'll all do fine. Now, remember the tips that I always give you before we start. Look at the answers that you're sure you know and mark through the answers that you've used so that you'll be sure not to use the same answer twice. Now, please don't look around at other people's answers because we want to know how you're doing, not how the other people are doing around you. Okay? Let's go ahead and start by looking at your evaluation form. Here you go. Go ahead and start by writing your name and your teacher's name at the top of the page. Go ahead and take a few seconds to do that now. Go ahead and write your name in Spanish there. Also, be sure to circle either the word pre-test right here or post-test so that we'll know if you're taking this evaluation either before or after you've studied all of the things in this unit. Okay? Well, let's get started. For numbers 1 through 10, right here, select the vocabulary words from the key down here at the bottom that name the pictured items up here. Okay? Write the letter of your response next to the corresponding number over here. Okay, you got that? Let's go ahead and get started then with number 1. Please identify this right here. Write the letter of your response next to number 1. Let's go ahead and continue now with number 2. Now, number 2 is this whole thing here. What do we call this whole thing? Please select your answer. Write the letter of your response next to number 2. Let's continue now with number 3. Number 3 is this part right here. What do we call this whole thing right here? Write the letter of your response next to number 3. Now let's look at number 4. Number 4 is one of these things right here. Okay? See if you can find the vocabulary word for that one. Write the letter of your response next to number 4. Let's look now at number 5. What do we find right here in this part? See if you can find your response in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 5. Now let's look at number 6. Number 6 is showing us this thing right here. See if you can find the vocabulary word for that. Write the letter of your response next to number 6. And number 7 now. Number 7 is this part right here. What do we call that in Spanish? See if you can find your response in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 7. Let's look now at number 8. Number 8 is something that a plant needs to live. It's this. What do we call this right here? See if you can find that answer. In the answer key, write the letter of your response next to number 8. Let's look now at number 9. Number 9 is this part of the plant right down here. See if you can find what that's called in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 9. And finally here, let's look at number 10. Number 10 is what is down in here. It's something that a plant needs to live. See if you can find this in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 10. All right, you're already halfway finished. Let's go ahead now and continue by looking at numbers 11 to 16. For numbers 11 to 16, please select from the key over here the name of each plant product pictured here. Okay? Write the letter of your response next to the corresponding number. Okay, that's pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get started then with number 11. Find the name of this. In the answer key, write the letter of your response next to number 11. Let's look now at number 12. What is this one called? Find your response in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 12. Let's continue now with number 13. What are these called? See if you can find the answer for that. In the answer key, write the letter of your response next to number 13. Let's look now at number 14. All of these things are made from plants. What are they called? See if you can find your answer in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 14. Let's go ahead and look now at number 15. See if you can find what these are called in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 15. The last one in this section, number 16. See if you can find what that is called in the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 16. All right, muy bien. Well, I tell you what, for numbers 17 to 20, I'd like you to identify each of the plant habitats pictured. Okay, select your answer from the answer key and write the letter of your response next to the corresponding number over here. All right, let's go ahead and start with number 17. Please choose your answer from the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 17. Let's continue now with number 18. What is this habitat called? Choose your response from the answer key. Write the letter of your response next to number 18. And number 19 now. What is this habitat called? See if you can find your answer in the key and write the letter of your response next to number 19. And finally, number 20. You should have one answer left. Hopefully it matches up with that. Write the letter of your response next to number 20. Muy bien. Now we'll go ahead and look at the extra credit question for today's evaluation. Okay? Let's see. It says, nombra estas plantas. And as you can see, there are 4 plants here. Go ahead and write the names for each of these plants next to the plant itself. Hey, that's it. Go ahead and turn your evaluation into your teacher right now, okay? How'd it go? If you were taking this as a pretest, did you recognize any of the things? If you were taking it as a post-it, did you recognize most of the words? Did you use your test-taking skills? Well, I tell you what, if you did the best that you honestly could, that's all that I or your teacher can ask from you. Now, if you're taking this evaluation as a pretest, your next class will be the first lesson of the unit called Hábitats de las Plantas. Now, if this was a post-test for you, you'll go on now to Unit 10. And teachers, I'd like to remind you that if you want the students to take the pretest for Unit 10, you may want to get those materials reproduced. For those of you who'd like to grade your test now, I'll be going over the answers. If you'd prefer to grade the tests on your own, the answer key for the evaluation is found in the Learning Partner Guidelines immediately after the evaluation. Now, if you want to put me on hold while you get ready to grade the test, you may do so now. Now, for those of you who wish to, let's go ahead and go over the test. Okay. Well, let's look at these. Here we go. Number 1, that's something that the plant needs to grow. Es el sol. Letter I. Number 1 is letter I. Number 2, this whole thing. What is this called? La planta. Letter D. Number 2 is letter D. Number 3, this part of the plant is called the flower or la flor. Letter C. Number 3 is letter C. Number 4 is one of these things on the flower. It's a petal in English. Y en español es el pétalo. Letter E. Number 4 is letter E. Number 5 are these things that are found in the center of the flower there. Okay? Those are the seeds, right? Las semillas. Letter G. Number 5 is letter G. Number 6, this part of the plant, okay? That's the leaf. En español es la hoja. Letter A. Number 6 is letter A. Number 7, this part of the plant, the stem or the stalk, right? That in Spanish is el tallo. Letter B. Number 7 is letter B. Number 8 is what a plant needs to grow. That's water, right? Y en español es el agua. letter J. Number 8 is letter J. Number 9, this part of the plant that's underground here is la raíz, letter F. Number 9 is letter F. And finally, number 10, what we put a plant into is dirt or soil. En español es la tierra, letter H. Number 10 is letter H. So there are your answers for numbers 1 through 10. Let's look now at the second page of our evaluation. Okay, let's identify these plant products first. Okay, number 11 is furniture, and that's muebles, which is letter F. Number 11 is letter F. Number 12, well, that's a pencil, and we've talked about that before, as el lápiz, letter D. Number 12 is letter D. Number 13, vegetables, or las verduras, is letter B. Number 13 is letter B. 14 are toys, or los juguetes, letter E. Number 14 is letter E. 15 is fruits, and that's a cognate, las frutas, letter A. Number 15 is letter A. And number 16 is wood, or la madera, letter C. 16 is letter C. So there are your answers for 11 through 16. Let's look down here at these. We talked about the different plant habitats. These are different places plants could live. The first one is a pond. En español es la charca, letter C. Number 17 is letter C. 18, here we've got a cognate. The ocean is el océano, letter A. Number 18 is letter A. Number 19, the forest here, is el bosque, letter D. El bosque. Okay, so that leaves number 20, which is el desierto, letter B. There are your answers for 17 through 20. Got those? Let's go ahead and look at the extra credit now. Okay, we want the specific names of these plants. So let me go ahead and give them to you. This one should be pretty easy. Es una rosa. Una rosa. That's kind of a cognate. This one is too. It's a pine tree. O en español es el pino. Okay? Now listen over here. This is an oak tree. And the oak tree is called un roble. See, they're getting a little bit tougher, but that's what they're supposed to be for extra credit. And finally, this last one, turn towards the sun, right? Gira sol. Es el girasol. All right. Well, muchas gracias to all of you. Thank you very much for participating today. I'll see you next lesson. Until then, adios, hasta luego.